Okay, let me just figure. Someone on the discussion said not not the There's so many. There's actually a couple of BSSP that we bumped into recently. So, Wrong John Silver is the author here. What was the last one we had from you, Wrong John Silver? Let's see here. From the looks of it, it should be. Yeah, it is 2289. 2289. Let's see here. 2289. Oh yeah, the little like Wolverines with the eye tumors. Like the eye tumors all over the fucking body. Yeah. That's coming out in 2 months. To my YouTube channel. Okay, that's the last one from Wrong John Silver that we read. And this one is called That Takes Me Back. It does take me back. Looking at your previous SCP, it did take me back. Alright, let's see what we got here. Euclid, Special Containment Procedures -1 through 3.2 will be kept in a locked standard storage drawer at Site 17. All requests for testing or other purposes must be logged with digital copies of the date, time, person requesting access, and reason for requisition kept at 3 separate facilities. Logs must be cross-referenced at least once monthly for discrepancies. All testing with SCP-2402 instances must take place in soundproof testing chambers constructed no later than 1996. If soundproofing foam is found to be worn or decaying, testing may be allowed to continue with specific permission and increased protection from the principal researcher on site director. Or site director. Care must be taken to use speakers with enough age to survive testing. -1. Look at that. What? It does a musical manuscript. Okay. Interesting. Description. Yeah, description. SCP-2402 is a chord progression in the normal range of hearing for humans. The specific frequencies for each note involved and the length of each note in succession are listed in document -KS required 4/2402 clearance. The chord progression causes an anomalous harmonic vibration with subatomic particles, causing a reversion of particles to a prior oscillation with lower entropy. Rapid shifting of subatomic oscillations to previously exhibited states affect a temporal reversal in the exposed materials. In organic materials, this reduction in entropy is generally observed to consist of the decomposition of cells and tissues. For example, a rotting fruit will return to an edible state. Living plants and animals will appear to become younger. Oh god. With no corresponding temporal shift in the environment outside the listening area. The rate and intensity of temporal reversal is dependent on the strength of exposure. Sound pressure levels of at least 40 decibels are necessary for the anomalous nature of the progression to become clear. By the way, I think I got... Oh yeah, it was a... The anti-entropic effects of the progression cease for any item moved to a range where the amplitude of SCP-2402 is less than 40 decibels, but accumulated temporal reversion remains in place afterwards. Test subjects and test materials have been observed to become younger at a rate of 6 months per minute of exposure at 70 decibels. Analysis of brain scans and interviews of subjects after testing have demonstrated that the mind also reverts to an earlier time, removing all memories accumulated over the rewound period. Researchers are advised that extreme fear and confusion are common reactions to test subjects immediately after testing, as they will not remember why they were in testing chamber, remembering only events up to the new previous chronological age. Should subjects revert back to earlier than the adult state, the subject will decrease in mass, with the balance expelled as undifferentiated viable tissue. Test materials also experience entropy removal, resulting in reduction of wear and fractures. Recent construction of buildings can potentially result in disassembly of exposed rooms upon reversion to the date of construction, via the refilling of nail holes in wood, reversal of welds, and reseparation of concrete binding materials. Ensure that testing chambers are never exposed to a cumulative level of regression past the date of construction. Because of this property, older facilities in need of repair can be used as testing chambers. As long as the principal researchers has determined limited propagation of acoustic properties beyond the confines of the chamber. SCP -1, -2, and -3 are the subjects in containment which carry recorded forms of SCP-2402. -1 is a musical manuscript using Byzantine notation. -2 is a file pureuth.mkv, which is a video file, kept on a single 64GB thumb drive. -3 is data expunged. Testing with -1 is restricted until Foundation musicians who have memorized the score have aged sufficiently to remember the score upon conclusion of play. Please refer to personal roster -1-09X for a list of level 2/2402 clearance musicians and date of memorization of -1. During testing, copies of -1 can be made available to musicians only if they are properly aged for a minimum of 7.5 years via SB-119 before play. Regular testing of SCP-2402's effect is to be performed with -2, which can be played to speakers physically separated from the computer hosting the file. Addendum Recovery Log 1. MTF-811 Savage Beast was dispatched to the village of Bulgaria to investigate rumors of the locals offering a song that restores youth and virginity. The youth part makes sense, but the virginity part makes it like a little bit messed up, to be honest. For a considerable price, a number of musicians in the village were identified as persons of interest, and surveillance was established. MTF member posed as paying clients and were able to infiltrate operations and asked to join the musicians in a nearby cave in the Balkan Mountains. Yeah, it is the... That was a while ago, man. That was 5 years ago for me. Average age of the musicians was approximated as 45 to 50, although the youngest, POY4, approximately 25 years of age, informed Agent Zhao that he has played the song longer than anyone else, and soon he would not be able to play it anymore. Xiao, I think that's actually... Maybe that's Xiao, I don't know. Xiao effected payment for 3 years of youth and allowed to remain in the cave while the musicians played. The remaining members of MTF-811 carried out a tactical assault, data expunged. MTF confirmed the anomalous effects of the music through an examination of the regression of mole development on Xiao's skin and comparing them to medical records. -1 was recovered in the cave along with 5 traditional Bulgarian instruments of recent make, gaida, kaval, two tamburas, and a recently made forgery of a Stradivarius violin. POY4 was the sole survivor of the encounter among the musicians, but was determined to no longer be a threat and left at a nearby monastery with a forged note claiming to be from his mother. Addendum Recovery Log 2. The file pureuth.mkv was located on a cloud server, having been uploaded by a musician in New York. It was sequestered and transferred to a thumb drive and wiped from the internet, and Mr. was brought in for questioning. Upon interrogation, he revealed that he had no recollection regarding writing the music, and appeared to be suffering from retrograde amnesia, believing that the current date was 6 months earlier. The subject was given a Class B amnestics and released. I think what's going on is that you got musicians who come up with this chord from time to time, but then while they're tinkering with it, they play it, they back up, and they can't remember even having played it before. In many ways, it's self-containing, but now in the world of digital music, where something can be written out in a playable form without ever listening to it, first, there are more and more ways for files like this to end up in public. Agent Mike Carter, MTF-811, yeah. It basically was self-containing until the internet came along. Recovery Log 3, access restricted to level 2402/4 and 1668/4 personnel or above. Please enter credentials. Recovery log 3. An extraneous log entry in the database folder for SB166A was found not to correspond with any item in containment for that designation or any other form in the Foundation custody. The file consists of an item intake and testing log. Files being moved to SB2402 folder upon examination of contents and confirmation of anomalous effect by MTF ADA 11 member Mike Carter. Record follows. Log entry 5. Received date. Contents: 1 vinyl record, 1 handwritten note. Vinyl record is 32 minutes and 14 seconds in length, containing a collection of songs played in reverse chronological order from Taylor Swift, Nine Inch Nails, Negative Land, Pink Floyd, and the Beatles. List of songs for wow, there's some good. What a cast of musicians we have here. I need to check something real quick. Because how would this say? So probably I'm not sure. What does SCP for the multiple versions of the same file? I'm unsure if how it like gave me the right numbers here. I assume we'll see. We'll see if that's correct or not. I looked. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Window record. Yeah. Did expunged. Upon playing of entirety of album, subject reports hearing 2 minutes and 35 seconds of an unidentified movement played by a symphony orchestra. Movement is described as atonal in the treble portion, but with clear harmonic chord progression that are atypically somewhere between diminished and suspended in form. Unlike other instances of SCP-1668, yeah, I said it right. The record does not include this movement. Handwritten note attached to vinyl records resembles other notes from POY1. Eric Zahn. Note reads as follows. Begin note. The SCP Foundation, I fear I may have become lax in my presentation, but I'm not quite sure how to classify my latest discovery. I have realized that a strict forward chronological progression led to a limited possible slate of results. Working in reverse, I discovered this haunting melody. I tried recreating it for the record, but a combination of the complexity of the piece along with its use of notes outside the chromatic scale made it impossible to duplicate. Perhaps you will have better luck. It does resemble something by Stravinsky or Shostakovich at first blush, if you please excuse the conflation, and yet I'm struck at how it almost fits with early opera, as if it were written by Jacopo Peri. I do know I have never heard it before, yet something tells me I have heard it multiple times. In bewilderment, Eric Zahn. End note. I want to send that in an email. Just to make sure about the schedule for the filming. You have not sent any timetables, nor any plans or the mood board to me. I don't know how I'm supposed to work with these conditions. In bewilderment, Dr. AfroFluff. NDF said that 4 Agent Mike Carter has listened to the album and generated an audio file that recreates the ideated music. Final testing of this phenomenon involves playing the audio file at the conclusion of vinyl record playback to confirm the music heard by test subjects. Researchers note Agent Carter has no recollection of creating or playing the audio file. I also was no longer in Setup 4 at the time. Don't know why I have been experimenting with sound files then. Agent Mike Carter, MTF EDA 11. Discovery note, access restricted to MTF H11 members. Please enter credentials. Who is this? Okay, so different voice. I know this is an unorthodox use of the database, but I need to do this for my peace of mind. I'm always in bewilderment, personally. That's how the world keeps staying interesting. If you're always in bewilderment, you always learn something new. Or, surprises are always there for you. The world stays interesting. Mike and anyone else who might decide to join this old team along in the tooth just need to make some notes on what happened in Garnier. Yes, we set up surveillance. We traveled out to Bulgaria, found the village, the musicians, let Zhao lead us into the mountains, all that. Beautiful place, Garnier. Seems lost in time. Took a while to make sure the silencer was in place. We have recording equipment available, all that. We needed to capture the phenomenon. We had to be ready to make a snap call, rush in, stop the music, and pull everyone and everything out. I was supposed to be the lead on this. I'm deaf, so it was figured that the anomaly wouldn't work on me. We didn't yet know it was acoustic, more physical in nature, and not some other method. But that's the risk we MTF take every day, so welcome. I went in to stop the performance, got disoriented when I hit the sound pressure. The musicians saw me, the music stopped, and Zhao and I, not knowing what was happening, stuck to training and retreated. I need a rebriefing on what happened. I completely forgot. Thank God we have the surveillance footage. That surveillance footage was key for myself and Zhao. It meant that we could try again. We kept the cave entrance guarded so the musicians couldn't escape. We couldn't wait any longer. We rushed in again. We rushed in 5 times. On the 4th run, I died. We realized we couldn't approach the musicians without them playing the song and making us forget why we were there. And so, I apparently hatched a cockamamie. What the fuck? How? What? I never seen this word in my life.
Cockamamie.
Cockamamie. Aha, that's what. Okay. I heard that word before. Ridiculous, implausible. I heard this word before. I just never had cockamamie. Cockamamie plan to just collapse the cave and trap the musicians inside instead of trying to approach them. Sounds like the sort of stupid thing I would do. Sure, the cave had been recently painted to resemble Paleolithic drawings, but the soup was still so fresh you could smell it. It's not like I was burying some archaeological treasure, so I went to the cave entrance, set charges, and well, I was let my anger get the best of me. I didn't check, and the charges went off prematurely, collapsing the cave with the musicians inside and me, crushed under the rubble. Of course, the musicians just used the only weapon they had, that piece, and played it as loudly and fervently as they could. The wall of sound must have hit the rubble hub because, according to the footage, the bullets pulled themselves back up into place in the walls, fixed themselves. The explosions imploded, and I just got back up and took down the charges and returned to the base. Crazy Diamondo! Trying to catch yourself dying on camera. I thought losing my hearing was bad. As far as I'm concerned, one moment I'm heading out of Garnier to the cave, and the next moment I'm being placed in front of a monitor being told not to blow myself up again. All those events in the middle, there's nothing. You were bewildered by that. I was bewildered. I never had to read cockamamie. I only heard that word once. Way back then. But I never actually had to read it. Witchers grabbed the silencer and rushed in, guns blazing. Moments later, Zhao told me the music had stopped. He came back out of the cave covered in some gooey bloody film. I don't know what, with some sheet music and a baby. You want to know the weirdest thing? I never heard the music. Duh, you're thinking, deaf guy. But no, from a temporal point of view, I never heard the music. I've never been exposed. But when I dream, I do. Agent John Hennessy, MTF Editor 11. Okay. Interesting. So even if you don't hear the music, you can still be affected by it. And if you don't hear the music at all, there will be a way that your body somehow still makes it happen. You can still experience it, so to speak. Okay. Music keeps people young and alive. They make your body flow. In this case, flow backwards in time because you're getting young. You are getting physically younger and forget what you just experienced. Crazy. Listen, I think music is a beautiful thing, but if there's a specific song that makes me age backwards, I don't think I want to listen to it. I already stated yesterday's stream, I don't want to be immortal. I don't. So hearing music that makes me age back and forget what I just experienced, no thank you. That's not for me. That's not my cup of tea. I'm good just aging normally, making my experiences, and eventually die.